So you're interested in getting 360 waves, but you may have heard some of the whispers of saying that waves can make you go bald. Well, in this video, I'm gonna get into the truth about can 360s make you bald? And I'm gonna give y'all the science and not bro science. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
I ain't no rich man. Oh, but I got a lot to give.
Hey yo, what it do? It's your boy J Lou, and you are just in time for something new. Alright, now in today's video, if you're new to my channel, you may not be aware, but I made a video in the past. I think I'll link it right above here. You can click on it whenever it pops up, and it goes into can do-rags cause you to lose your hair, right? From that, I ended up writing a blog about does 360 waves make you go bald? But I really wanted to make this video to get into the details. On that blog, I've discussed some of the things such as if you use a derma roller, such as finasteride and minoxidil, because a lot of people kept asking me about it, but I never made a dedicated video. Well, this is that video. So with that being said, I want to really focus on 3 to 4 topics in this video, simply because of the simple fact that I don't want to bog you guys down with too much information. But with that being said, the first thing I want to address is, does 360s accelerate hair loss? Now, if you watched any of my videos before, you already know the answer to this. But if you haven't, the answer is a resounding no, right? A lot of people tend to say this, and it's just simply because of misinformation. Now, there are things that can mess up your scalp health, such as brushing your hair or your scalp too hard, or even using a hard brush when you don't have enough thickness or density of hair in order to get the benefits of using a hard brush, right? But most of this stuff is kind of common sense. I don't know anybody that would be using a hard brush and it hurt their scalp purposely. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like backwards. But with that being said, there are other things that people tend to associate with hair loss due to 360 waves, such as the use of natural products. Now, I'm here to tell you that there are products that can mess up your scalp health, but that does not mean it's caused by 360 waves, because at the end of the day, you choose what you put in your hair. You know, so if you choose to put something in your hair that can compromise the health of your scalp, ultimately, you may think that,
oh, I got 360 waves and I start losing my hair.
When the reality is, you bought a product that probably didn't agree with your scalp. You probably didn't know there were some chemicals that you were allergic to, you know. So with that being said, this is about taking personal accountability for the decisions that you make, not necessarily for 360 waves. Now, one thing that is commonly associated with 360 waves is people will make the argument for what is known as traction alopecia. Most people probably are familiar with alopecia, especially with the situation that happened a couple of years ago with Will Smith's wife, you know, and it went viral that she had alopecia. But alopecia is not just simply a scalp condition. There is a form of it called traction alopecia. That's where a lot of people typically will say 360 waves can cause you to lose your hair, but that's a little bit more of a complex situation, and is not very black and white. You know, it's not a yes or no. It's more of a gray thing. You know, there's a lot of different factors. So with that being said, to wrap up this first point, the one thing I want to encourage you all to do is you need to be gentle to your scalp. You want to make sure that you are moisturizing your scalp. And the whole point of getting 360 waves or waves in general is to train your hair. Is not to punish your hair. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to beat that point too much. All right, now this next point is pretty serious, you know. So with that being said, this goes into hormones, right? When it comes to hair loss, it's scientifically proven that men experience this a lot more than women do. And some of the science is now pointing to the fact that testosterone has a play in regards to affecting your hair loss, right? But this isn't a matter of people arguing if they have high testosterone levels or low testosterone levels. The levels of your testosterone really don't matter, right? Where this comes from is the simple fact of how your body breaks down testosterone and then how it affects the cells in your body when it's there. So with that being said, this is one of those situations where I don't really have to go into a lot of detail about it because everybody's body is different and your scalp may react to the breakdown of testosterone versus different from somebody else's. So that's more of a specific case situation. I can't speak on it on a general basis and give too much guidelines because, like I said, it doesn't matter if you have high testosterone levels or low testosterone levels. The simple fact of the matter is testosterone is being proven to be a major factor in regards to can you lose your hair. So technically it's not 360 waves that's caused you to lose your hair. It's just your body, you know, and that leads into the next point. When it comes to the life cycle of your hair follicles, most people know that eventually one day you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna wake up. But the reality is everything in our world has a life cycle, including our hair follicles. With that being said, on every person's head, we have between 100,000 to 150,000 hair follicles. And each of these hair follicles go through their very own life cycle. What that basically means is a hair follicle is its strongest at the beginning of the life cycle and then it weakens off at the end of the life cycle. Now, one fun fact is the hair follicle life cycles can last up to 8 years, right? I did that right. It's 4, right? 4 plus 4 equals 8. You know what I'm saying? And when we're younger, after the 8 years pass, a brand new life cycle for the hair follicle starts again. But as we age as well, our bodies get weaker over time, and what they do is the hair follicle life cycles begin to shrink. When this typically starts to take place, this is where people will blame 360 waves and say,
oh, when I started getting waves, I started losing my hair.
When the reality is, it may be very due to the fact that if you started getting waves later in your life, it's just you're getting old. You know what I'm saying? Now, the older we get, not only do the life cycles shrink, but then they eventually just get to the point to where they just go away. They just give up, they retire. And that's where people typically start to have bald, it starts going towards baldness. And that is where products like minoxidil and finasteride shine, because what they can do is they can rejuvenate the hair follicle's life cycle. And I believe minoxidil is FDA approved. I can't remember exactly, but y'all don't hold me to the fire with that. I'm just trying to give y'all the absolute gems when it comes to this stuff, because a lot of this that's been shared in the past has been bro science, and I really take my time to study this stuff just to make sure I know what I'm talking about, and just to make sure that I'm not just giving you something that I heard somebody else say or I took it from somebody else, you know. So with that being said, that's one thing that you need to understand when it comes to hair follicles. Now, to wrap up that point, this is purely all based off of genetics, right? And at the end of the day, you can't fight against genetics. You either have something or you don't, you know. And a lot of times people are blaming 360 waves when it more than likely is their genetics, right? So with that being said, if baldness runs in your family, 360 waves is not the culprit for the reason why you lost your hair. It's just something in your family, and your DNA is not calling the shots anymore. But how will you know if baldness runs in your family or not? This is one of the things that on my channel, people over the years, and even when I recently came back to YouTube, people have been commenting on my wave journey now in this current pattern, saying,
oh man, it looked like you thinning. It looked like you going bald.
All of this silly stuff. And the reason why that stuff doesn't affect me is simply because of the fact that I know what my genetics are when it comes to my genetic predisposition. What does that mean? A lot of people get iffy about DNA tests, but this video is sponsored by 23andMe. I ended up taking 23andMe's DNA test, and what it did was it gave me a lot of insight in regards to how my body is when it comes to these different traits, right? There's a section that once you take the exam, they will show you all of the traits that your body is more than likely to experience. And one of those traits is early balding, right? Now, they refer to it as early hair loss, but as you all can see from my results basically says that the combination of my genetics and other factors make me unlikely to experience hair loss or thinning before the age of 40. Now, if you all don't know, I'm 35, right? So with that being said, I know I'm not going bald anytime soon. But at the end of the day, this is just to show you all kind of the things that help, what I did to help me understand more about myself in my health journey. I haven't made the video of what led me through all of this stuff, but I'll eventually get to that. And if you're watching that video, and if you're watching this video by the time I drop it, then you could just simply click at the top right here, and it'll give you the video to watch in regards to the reason why I went on this whole health journey and started taking all of these different exams and stuff of that nature. And I really don't care to hear y'all comments in the comment section below in regards to how you feel about the company and all that kind of stuff like that. But if you are interested in learning these things, if you use the link in my description, then you can get 10% off when it comes to buying your test. Now, whenever you click on the link, what you'll notice is it will give you the different options of which package to buy. There's the Ancestry service, which is $79. There's the Health Plus Ancestry service, which is $99. There's the 23andMe Plus Premium, and then there's the 23andMe Plus Total Health. And the one thing I want to point out is the last one is for a two for one, right? Now, the one that I did was a 23andMe Premium, you know. So what that did was it gave me a lot of insights in regards to my health, and it showed me all of the things that I'm showing you on the screen right now when it comes to the fact that there's not a high chance of me losing my hair before 40, but after 40 there's a 19% chance that I will lose or start to thin after 40, you know. So with that being said, those are the things that you need to keep in mind when it comes to this stuff. Now, the one thing I do want to point out is with all of these different companies that are popping up, and the fact that there are companies currently that are consistently doing DNA studies and testing and different kind of things of that nature. In the future, there may be better hair treatments that can help people that are concerned about going bald. Like I said, if you are one of those people that has the trait where you're gonna start losing hair earlier, you may be able to look into some things like minoxidil, and I'll make sure I link it down below to where you can go on Amazon. And I believe with minoxidil and finasteride, they require a pharmacy, like a doctor's note or whatever the case is. But whenever you go through the purchase, they go through the process to where you can get the information that you need in order to purchase it the way that you want to. Now, with that being said, I don't really want to touch on derma rollers, because at the end of the day, people say things about derma rollers, but as people who try to get 360 waves, it's like you buy a derma roller, but a brush can do the same thing. I'm not gonna say that you should use a brush for that reason, but when you brush your hair, the whole purpose of a brush is to stimulate hair growth, right? The whole purpose of a derma roller is what? To stimulate hair growth. So with that being said, you can experiment with a derma roller. Typically, if you do, I would say don't use it all over your head. People who typically use derma rollers use them in the corners or their hairline. You don't need to use it all over your scalp. Some people do that, but at the end of the day, you're free to do whatever you want to do. So to wrap this video up, 360s does not cause you to go bald. You can't become bald because you chose to rock 360s or to do the style. The reason why you can go bald is purely based off of your genetics as well as your habits. If you have healthy habits, then you'll be able to keep your hair like I have. A lot of people in my past videos have told me that I was losing my hair. Even whenever I went on my lock journey, I thought I was losing my hair at one point in time, but I'm gonna go into a further detailed video just to break the health reasons that I was going through and what I had to do to address that in order to reverse those things and to start to see my hair thicken up, you know. So with that being said, it's your boy J. Lou. I don't want to waste too much of your time, and I hope y'all have a great day. I appreciate y'all for watching this video. And if you have done 23andMe, let me know in the comment section below what's like if you have the trait or not, right? Let me also know what you also want to see in the next video if you comment as well. But don't forget to like this video. The YouTube algorithm is only a friend whenever y'all are friends to me, you know. So make sure you hit the like button so that we can get this content, the truth about a lot of this stuff out to people, rather than having just a lot of bro science float around. Because at the end of the day, we're living in a new age, and there's no reason why you should be just going off of stuff that doesn't make sense. So with that being said, it's your boy J. Lou. Hope y'all have a great day, and salute.